Karen here. Welcome to another edition of Spiritual Medicine Digest for the week of October 30th, 2017. So happy belated Halloween for those of you that enjoy Halloween. And it's so funny because, I know that it's been in certain, towns, places, cultures, Halloween's a big no-no because they feel like it is like, worshiping the devil and things like that. And yes, we do have, children dress up as little devils, although less common now. They'd rather be ninjas. Seriously. But it gives us a chance to celebrate the dead. Like the Day of the Dead in the Mexican tradition, which, by the way, that wonderful cartoon movie I absolutely love. It's so awesome, so beautiful too. But also we get to kind of try on different energies and see how that feels. And so instead of somebody being a real devil in real life and hurting people, you can kind of be a pretend devil, and be mischievous or whatever for a night. Well, I decided I was going to be a heroine this year, and I tend to like those, genres. So it was between Wonder Woman or Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games, Mockingjay series of movies. And my sister's funny. She's like, oh, why don't you be Tris Prior, from Divergent, which I love that series as well. Really resonated with me on many levels. But I'm like, Cindy, she's blonde. Like, look, I got so much black hair. What am I going to do with it? So I stuck with the brunettes for this year. And honestly, the Wonder Woman costume did not fit. Okay, it was like, I don't know, just looked awful. So, but the other one was decent. It was decent. So, it was pretty decent. So if you looked on our Facebook page, you saw me verbalize my photos, which means putting animation on them with fire and like lights and shiny stuff. So it was all really, really fun. Anyway, so that was kind of fun to kind of, be this heroine energy. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, you're like that all the time. Like, yeah, I totally love being a hero. It's so awesome. And once in a while dressing up as one too, which is even awesomer, if that's a word. But let's get to down to business, what's going on this week and what we've discovered. So one thing I want you to check in with yourself is I mentioned in previous Spiritual Medicine Digest that sometimes our soul energy, where many of us are given, sort of extra soul energy, so to speak, to do our soul's mission, which for many of us sensitives, our indigos, light warriors, hybrids, starseeds, we have the soul energy to heal bigger things other than just so-called ourselves. And it doesn't make us better than everybody else. It just makes us, that uniqueness, right? So the soul energy sometimes can be zapped or taken from us or, used in other ways that are not appropriate, that we ourselves, cause by having inappropriate soul wants. Inappropriate soul wants is sort of like if you're like the principal of a school, okay, and that would represent, your soul energy, your principal of the school, but then you decide that one day you decided you were going to teach kindergarten because it seemed so fun, or you were going to help the janitor because, the mop was broken and you thought you could go down your hands and knees and start mopping the school, or you see the landscape people outside and you're like, oh my gosh, they need help too, so let me go, do landscaping as well, but then guess what? Your principal duties probably going to fall short, right? So we want to reclaim that soul energy back to us. So you can actually do that. You can check, is there any other soul energy that I can reclaim that belongs to me? And if you get a percentage, awesome, you can go ahead and use Topocan Healing to direct that back to you in whatever timeline it belongs. The second thing we found out, this week, was that, when we do the Cornerstones of Divine Alignment scoring, love, light, truth, and wholeness, at times the wholeness score kind of gets stuck around 80 and doesn't go up anymore. And I thought that was kind of weird. So I just asked, is it possible to actually be gifted or given more soul energy? And I got a yes. I was like, whoa, amazing. So we've been downloading more soul energy, and we made sure that it was safe, for the highest good is good. It didn't take away from anyone or anything else. Sometimes our scarcity mindsets cause us to think it might hurt someone else if we get more for ourselves. But because of our current duties, whatever it is, we could use more, and we're allowed that. So if we didn't know how to ask, we wouldn't get it because we needed to know to ask. So now we can ask, okay, so is it possible, will Source allow me to be gifted and downloaded additional soul energy? If you get a yes, you can even ask what percentage more. We've been getting between like 40 and 60% extra, depending on, you know, the person. And then go ahead and download that to yourself, the additional soul energy, and then let us know how that feels. So if you're part of the Light Warrior Facebook group, you know, let us know, you know, what that's like for you once you did that. And it's interesting because I know during the fall, there's certain imbalances. The lung meridian can be a little challenged. That's Chinese medicine, 5 elements. And so we have a lot of people that are sick. I mean, they've had stomach flu, they've had flu-like symptoms, and you gotta love it. The people have flu shots, right? And they feel horrible. Sorry, I shouldn't make fun of them. Okay, I used to stand by the flu shot. I mean, I used to be like, I'm a flu shot girl, you know, when I was at UCLA, got my flu shot, never got sick, you know, and then I didn't get my flu shot, got sick, so I thought, well, it must be the flu shot. Well, maybe they got the formulation right that year, whatever, but now I know that we can definitely, you know, check your immune system on a regular basis and see what it needs to be happy, and you address those things, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, or dimensionally, I suppose, then you don't really need to have this other stuff, you know, flu shot, so just saying. Anyway, so I've been feeling actually pretty good despite all the, you know, sickness around. And the minute if I start feeling funky, you know, I can go ahead and check myself. That's the cool thing about the Chopacan healing, the divine muscle testing technique. We can go check how happy is my immune system, you know, how happy is my energy body, you know, all these kind of questions that we learn in, you know, the Chopacan healing, especially in our VIP group. They have, you know, these cheat sheets that they go through so we can actually do checkups of ourselves. So there seems to be a new morphic field that many of us are helping to co-create, so maybe you can help us as well. And the idea is this, so see if you wrap your heads around this. The idea is for those of us that are sensitive, that do have a role in healing others, aside from ourselves and our other timelines and our soul destiny partners. So if we have a role for healing Mother Earth, or, you know, mass consciousness, or whatever, how can we do that healing without having to spend any of our own personal energy or have to feel their negative stuff, right? Like, why not, like, be able to do the healing without having to feel the negative stuff? And most of the time, we don't have to feel it. Like, maybe some have to feel it a little bit. Okay. Because they're developing some sort of attribute or ability. But a lot of us don't have to feel the negative stuff. We can just be ourselves and just, you know, heal. Some of us actually have to consciously send healing to these others. Others just live their lives, and already them being their beautiful self already helps to heal without having to feel their stuff. So we decided to create new morphic fields based on the information that it is possible to do that. So the new morphic field basically says, okay, so if it is our soul's mission to help transmute, reflect, you know, these other energies for others for the highest good, then I now command that my body, you know, all my bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, are not negatively affected in any way. No symptoms. We're talking no symptoms, okay? We don't want to feel any of this stuff if it's not absolutely for our personal highest and greatest good in all ways. So if it's for our highest and greatest good energetically, but not physically, that's not good enough. We want it to be everything. So it's like putting your foot down, right? Like even healthier boundaries than before. If that's my job, I'll do this job, but I ain't suffering for it, okay? So maybe they're just waiting for us to, you know, say this and create this. So maybe you can help us out and, you know, how to, you know, create this. So we did create a few, downloaded a few. And then afterwards, what was really interesting was that our crystalline body matrix, which is like one of our blueprints, and we have one for every timeline. They're all connected to each other. That relationship with that crystalline body blueprint, which evolves with us supposedly as we evolve, is changing. So that has to evolve too. So we got that our God teams were not allowed to continue supporting us in this goal of no symptoms, okay? until which time we commanded that our relationship with our crystalline body matrix be fully evolved and optimized. So we did that, and then the guide team's like, okay, we can support that now. So that was really interesting. So maybe you can give us some feedback or some insight as to how we go about creating this, you know, manifestation. And I think it's going to require definitely more than my brains to do this for everyone. So think about it and see what you come up with. Would love your feedback. You can, you know, put it down in the comments below. Let us know what you think. The other exciting thing I'm experimenting with is, and this is thanks to Dr. Dennis Lobstein, who I'm speaking with next week, hopefully about LifeWave patches and fascia, is that I was getting some information that you know, I had one patient who had 74 different places that his fascia was locked up. Okay, so for some reason, I decided I was going to ask, is there one point in the body for this person that if we stimulate this point, release this point, acupuncture this point, where we can release all of the fascia? And I got a yes, and I was like, what? Really? You know, I was really shocked. So I'm working with that theory right now. We want to see results, right? So I don't really know if it's going to help, but I'm hopeful that it will. So it seems that this one point, it may or may not be an acupuncture point. In his case, it was in between, you know, CV22 and 23, may be a key to unlock that fascial restriction in all areas of the body. And then the support points are in the arms and legs and the center line. And according to Dr. Dennis and the last show we did last month, you actually create these beautiful pyramids, toruses, that basically are like, you know, spirals, which connects you to 0 point. That 0 point is that place from which you manifest. You put your intention in there. So when you put the, in this case, LifeWave patches on, you make that intention, you know, to release the fascia or whatever it is you want to intend, and that helps to support that energetically. So that's kind of exciting, and I'm going to continue testing people and myself as to, is there, you know, a magic point that we can stimulate, you know, day in, day out to help release that fascia. Of course, I'm loving my block therapy and working about 30 to 40 minutes a day on it, which means I don't get to do other things, but hey, what the heck, it's good. I can definitely feel a difference that my fascia is definitely softer, and if I have, you know, a knee pain or something like that, I'll feel like a little bulge behind my knee, and I just block it. You know what? The pain goes away, so it's super, super awesome. So I'm loving that too. In case you haven't checked out block therapy, I'll post some links below, and I'll show you the one that I'm doing right now. So that is kind of like the exciting news for this week. Next week we are, you know, having the radio show. It's going to change to the 12 p.m. Eastern instead of 3 p.m. Eastern, so 3 hours earlier, just to accommodate my new coaching mentorship program that I'm involved in. And Dr. Dennis is going to come and tell us a little bit about what he was telling us last time about the importance of the appendix, which I totally forgot what he said, but I'll ask him again, about the importance of the appendix area, and also about the fascia and how we can, you know, create fluidity and flexibility in the fascia all over our bodies. I can't wait to talk to him about that. If you have any questions about acupuncture, Chinese medicine, or LifeWave products, you can definitely call in live and ask a question, and you know, we'll answer you as best as we can. We have some really cool upcoming shows. I'm so excited. So later on in November this month, we are going to be interviewing Penny Pierce, author of several books that I absolutely love. The latest one's called Transparency, and she has the most beautiful titles for her books too. The first one was called Frequency. Love that book. I mean, bought a bunch and gave some away and stuff. And the next one was Leaf of Perception. Again, loved that. Bought a bunch, gave it away, you know. And then this one's Transparency. So check out her book on Amazon. It was just released, so we're going to be connecting with her. She's an amazing intuitive, so you definitely want to be live on the call if you can. And then also later in the month, we have Diana Kirschenbach back again. Now it's really hard to book her because she is so booked in advance, but we didn't get a chance last time to really talk about why is healing so hard for some people. You know, why does it take so long? You know, why do I have to do so much work? You know, so she is going to address some of this issue, and she'll do some mini healing readings on the call with me, and it's going to be super fun, like it always is with Diana. So stick around. Remember, the radio show time has changed. It's 12 p.m. Eastern from now on. So that's 9 a.m. Pacific, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.